Evening chanting, page 14. Yoso Bhagava Arham Samma Sambuddho Swakhato Yena Bhagavata Dhammo Supatipanno Yassa Bhagavato Savak Sangho Tamayam Bhagavantam Sadhammam Sasangam Imehi Sakkari Yatharham Aropitehi Abhipujayama Sadhuno Bhante Bhagava Suchira Parinibhutopi Pachima Janata Nukampamanasa Imi Sakari Dugat Panakara Bhuti Patiganhatum Amhakam Vigaratam Hitaya Sukhaya Arhang Samma Sambuddho Bhagava Buddham Abhivadini Swakhato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammam Namassami Supatipanno Bhagavato Savak Sangho Sangham Namah Handmayam Buddhasya Bhagavato Ubbhag Namakaram Karomase Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Handmayam Buddhanusatinayam Karomase Tam Kopana Bhagavantam Evam Kalyano Kiti Saddo Abhugato Iti Piso Bhagava Arham Samma Sambuddho Vijjacharana Sampanno Sugato Lokavidu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Rathi Satta Deva Manussanam Buddho Bhagavati Handmayam Buddha Vigitim Karomase Buddhavar Hantvarata Diguna Suddha Vijnana Karuna Hisamagatato Bodhisiyo Sujanatam Kamalam Vasuro Vandamaham Tamaranam Sirasajinendam Buddho Yo Sabbapaninam Saranam Khemamuttamam Patamanusatthanam Vandamitam Sirenaham Buddhasasmidasiva Buddho me sami kissaro Buddhasaham niyademi Sariran jimitanchidam Vandanti ham charisami Buddhaseva subodhitam Natti me saranam anyan Buddho me saranam varam Etena sajjavajjena Vaddheyam sattu sasane बुद्धं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसुतं इद सबेऽपि अन्तराया मे माहेषुं तस्य तेजसा। हन्दमयं धम्मानुसतिनयं करोमसि स्वाखातो भगवता धम्मो सन्दिट्ठिको अकालिको एहि पस्सिकोपनै पश्चात्तं वेदितव्यो विन्योहीति। हन्दमयं धम्माभिगीतिं करोमसि स्वाखाततादिगुणयोगवस्नसेयो यो मग्गपाकपरियतिविमुखभेदो धम्मो कुलोकपतना तदधारी धारी वन्दामहं तमरं वरधम्ममेतं धम्मो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं द्वितीयानुसतिष्ठानं वन्दामि तं शिरेणहं धम्मस्सास्मि दासीव धम्मो मे सामिकीश्वरो धम्मासहं नियादीनि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्त्यहं चरिष्यामि धम्मस्यैव सुधम्मतं नास्ति मे शरणम् अन्यं धम्मो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सत्यवज्रेण वड्डेयं सत्तु शासने धम्मं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसुतम् इद सबेऽपि अन्तराया मे माहेषुं तस्य तेजसा। हन्दमयं सङ्घानुसतिनयं करोमसि सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो उजुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो न्यायपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो सामीचिपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावकसङ्घो यदिदं चत्वारि पुरुषयुगानि अष्टपुरुषपुङ्गला एष भगवतो सावकसङ्घो आहुनेयो पाहुने दक्षिणेयो अञ्जलिकरणीयो अनुत्तरं पुण्यखेतं लोकस्याति। हन्दमयं सङ्गाभिगीतिं करोमसि सधम्मजो सुपटिपतिगुणादियुतो यो अष्टविधो अरियपुङ्गलसङ्गसेठो शीलादिधम्मपवरा सयकाय चेत्तो वन्दामहं तमरियानगणं सुशुद्धं सङ्घो यो सर्वपाणिनं शरणं खेममुत्तमं ततीयानुसतिष्ठानं वन्दामि तं शिरेणहं सङ्घस्सास्मि दासीव सङ्घो मे सामिकीश्वरो संगस्सहं नियादेमि शरीरं जीवितं चिदं वन्दन्तीहं चरिष्यामि संगस्सोपटिपन्नतं नत्ति मे शरणम् अन्य संगो मे शरणं वरम् एतेन सज्जवज्जेन वड्ढेयं सत्तु शासने संगं मे वन्दमानाय यं पुण्यं प्रसुतम् इद सभ्येऽपि अन्तराया मे माहेषुं तस्य तेजसा
अब हम सतीपठान सूत्र के दो जो पर्व हैं जिन पे चर्चा अभी चल रही है, अभी होगी, आज शाम को भी, कल हुई थी, उनका पाठ करते हैं। वो है इरियापथ पब्बम, कायानुपसना का इरियापथ पब्बम और कायानुपसना का संपजान पब्बम। ये जो PDF आप लोगों को दिया गया था उसमें होंगे, आप देख लें। आनापान पब्बम के तुरंत बाद हैं।
कायानुपस्यना इरियपथ पब्बम पुनचरं भिक्खवे भिक्खु गच्छन्तो वा गच्छामीति पजानाति तिष्ठो वा तिष्ठोमीति पजानाति निसिन्नो वा निसिन्नोमीति पजानाति शयानो वा शयानोमीति पजानाति यथा यथा वा पनस्य कायो पनिहितो होति तथा तथा न पजानाति इति अज्जत्तं वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति बहिद्धा वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति अज्जत्त बहिद्धा वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति समुदय धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति वय धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति समुदय वय धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति अत्थि कायोति वा पनस्य सति पच्चुपट्टिका होति यावदेव ज्ञानमत्ताय पटिसमत्ताय अनिश्चितो च विहरति न च किञ्चिलोके उपादीयते एवं भिक्खु भिक्खवे भिक्खु काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति इरियपथ पब्बम नित्थितम। मैं इसको अगले को लीड करता हूँ, फिर आप थोड़ा कायानुपस्सना संपजान पब्बम पुनच परं भिक्खवे भिक्खु अभिक्खन्ते पटिक्खन्ते संपजानकारी होति आलोकिते विलोकिते संपजानकारी होति समिञ्जते पसारिते संपजानकारी होति संघाटी पट्ट चीवर धारने संपजानकारी होती। हसिते पीते खाइते साइते संपजानकारी होती। उच्चार पस्सावकम में संपजानकारी होती। गते ठिते निसिन्ने सुत्ते जागृते भासिते तुन्ही भावे संपजानकारी होती। इति अध्यत्तं वापि पुराना पे का मतलब है पुराना जो था ना। इति अध्यत्तं वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति। बहिद्दा वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति। अध्यत बहिद्दा वा काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति। समुदय धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति। वै धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति। समुदय वै धम्मानुपस्सी वा कायस्मिन् विहरति। अत्थिकायोति वा पुनस्स सति पच्चुपट्ठिता होति। यावदेव ज्ञानमत्ताय पटिसति मत्ताय अनिश्चितो च विहरति। न च किंचि लोके उपादीयते। एवं पिखो भिक्खवे भिक्खु काये कायानुपस्सी विहरति। संपजानपम्बं विड्ढितम्। Now we listen to the discourse by Mr. Rodney Smith on the Satipatthana. This is one of the Satipatthana series. It's titled Integrating Body and Actions.
Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this series as much as I do. I actually look forward to going into the sutta in a depth because how I'm working this thing, it's very important for you to understand. You can take a literal translation of what's being said, and that's always has some value. But you can also take the implication or the implied value of what's being said. And that's far deeper and richer. And so on each of these little sutta passages that we read, I'll give you both a literal, but also more importantly the implication. What is this thing setting us up? What's the implication of what's being said here? And I think that most Buddhists are much too literal, that they just take what's being said and they don't vary it at all. They don't allow themselves to go out and explore what it means to have this setup that the Buddha is talking about here. What does it mean? And what does this imply to our basic practice? Because the implications have very deep significance for our spiritual orientation, and I hope that will come out tonight as we speak. But what I want to start with this evening is for a couple of very basic questions that I posed last week to the small group. And one I think that's very important for us to consider on an ongoing basis is, what is the spiritual? What does it mean to be spiritual? And if you haven't considered that question, and if you just find yourself meditating, then where are you going? What's the direction you're taking? Because the spiritual journey is the journey towards the sacred. Now, some of us have a very superficial understanding of what the spiritual means. It's like past life regressions or Ouija boards or seances or something of that nature. And although those may challenge our particular way of viewing the world, they don't deeply touch the heart of what the sacred means in any way. So for us to look very deeply at the definition of the sacred and see whether our spiritual journey, which is the journey towards the sacred, is in line with this deeper aspect. Rather than getting lost in, there are 10,000 tributaries to this main stream. And believe me, if you have any desire for any of them, they will be very alluring to you when you come to that particular aspect or depth of your practice. Some of the ways that there will be different sensitivities that you will have that will come up where you'll know things that you don't know with a grosser mind. And the other thing I want us to consider is the way we practice, which also has tremendous impact on not only how we practice, the way we practice, but also what we see or allow our practice to show us. And if I can just give you some very quick examples of that. If you are a person that is very dependent, doesn't like, needs to follow orders and sort of stay in line and never challenges the status quo, then you're going to be locked up into a very defined relationship to your practice, and that's going to require, that's a very small world because you'll never challenge your own limitations. And therefore that lack of challenging will create a contraction of the Dharma. So the Dharma needs to be explored, needs to be pushed, it needs to be challenged all along the way. But if we have that tendency of mind, or if we're a very anxious person and are afraid to feel the subtle nuances of fear that any practice will bring, then when our practice begins to look at the boundaries of where we have resisted a greater meaning or greater implication of meaning for ourselves, and those boundaries start getting pushed back, we'll start feeling that anxiety and we'll implode and we'll shut ourselves off like that. So to understand one's character and the limitations of one's character is very important as to how and what we do when we practice. And to challenge these limitations all along the way so that we don't just assume that that's my character and I don't know what to do, that's just what I'm... No, but to really look at these things and to keep ourselves pressing forward if we find some kind of restraint and contraction within ourselves that keeps us from really exploring the way that this needs to be explored. So how is it that we define the sacred? And I have been defining it as that which is not created by thought. So if we're on a spiritual journey to the sacred, please follow this, then our practice must point in a way that doesn't limit, that thought becomes less and less compelling, less and less a force to bear upon us, right? In other words, a quieter life, a quieter mind. I mentioned the continuum from noise to stillness, and that's a very nice continuum the way I'm defining the sacred at the moment. So this sense of the practice and all of these sutta references, they should line up. They should be in a line with the definition of the sacred, of something of less compulsion of thought, of a quieter, a less complicated life. It shouldn't be it should be very simple. This thing should be very simple. If it's very complicated, you can be assured that you will be thinking a lot, right? Or if it's has too many tasks for you to do, or too many things that you have to do, too many too many alterations or too many groupings and all of this, then where are we losing that simplicity? What way, how are we defining our practice where we're losing that simplicity within this complexity? The mind will want the complex. It will look forward to being a challenge through the complex, through the complicated, through the sophisticated. It likes that. That's its path. That's its life's path. But the heart, which is the sacred, which is the stillness aspect, is satisfied only through the stillness of life. And so those are the rubs that are going to be along the way. We're going to get pushed by the mind, but we're compelled by the heart. And so we have to learn how our practice can be moving mentally and denying that beautiful and endearing traction of simplicity, just because it feels good to know a lot. So just to be careful, and remembering also that any wise person, wise woman, wise man that's ever lived is no different than you or I. No different. What they have been able to discover that we might not have been able to discover is the dimension of stillness that each of us hold. And so don't look outside of yourself towards some wise person or prophet for that stillness. If it isn't in us, it's not worth practicing. We're not going to find it on some field. It's not going to be a scavenger hunt. This is either inside of us intrinsically, or we're wasting our time. So this sutta takes us in that direction. It guides us in that direction if we know how to read the implication of what it's saying. So let me read. Let me read this next exercise that it brings up, and then I'll give some words to it here. So it says, furthermore, when going forward and returning, he or she makes him or herself fully alert. When looking toward or looking away, when bending and extending his or her limbs, when carrying his or her outer cloak, her upper robe or her bowl, when eating, drinking, chewing, and savoring, when urinating and defecating, when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking, and remaining silent, he or she makes himself or herself fully alert. Well, there's just a comment I want to make about the use of words, and I think it's the vernacular of the time and how it's been translated, but I take issue with makes him or herself fully alert rather than becomes fully alert. All right? It's not of your effort. Full alertness is not of your effort. And this implies that it is. So I reject that. I reject that. Why? Because it's not the truth. Experientially, it's not the truth. So out it goes. And that's the way you should approach this thing. If it's not the truth, out it goes. So I don't have to, well, maybe somebody's comments, an editorial says that it is, and maybe no, it's not the truth, period, that's it. I know that, so then I say that it was translated wrong or poorly or something. So that's gone. But it leaves an awful lot left, and we shall move right into this. First of all, fully alert in all aspects of life. This is the full catastrophe. This is the full Monty. Huh? This is life uncloistered. So get the feeling. He's not, when he says eating, drinking, chewing, defecating, he's not leaving anything out. Right? Well, he didn't say brushing your hair. No. He says brushing your hair. Everything. All right. So this full alertness, what does this mean? You see what the implication is? Should we be mindful? Like, oh my God. No, or is there this abiding, relaxed awareness that our life manifests out of, rather than trying to procure a mindfulness to each and everything we do. Get the difference in that. Okay, so now it's a question of my disposition in the moment. If I'm leaning into it with my agenda becomes so important that I forget to relax and receive life so that awareness can abound. Rather, I get tied up in the doing of my practice, which is the mindfulness in each moment, and it's unrelenting because he's not giving me any breaks here. And so it's either going to tie me up in a knot and break me, because you try it. Eating, drinking, chewing, savoring, urinating, defecating, standing, walking, you try it. It'll break you. Or you'll try a different disposition to this. See, he's implying, or it seems to me, he's implying a completely a different disposition, a complete change of paradigm here. I can't do this, which is why he makes himself fully alert, just doesn't go into this. See, so we read the intention in the words. Now this is, we open up the moment to fully abide within that stillness. See, because if I keep thinking that I need to do all this, I'm getting noisier because I'm missing some of them and some things I'm not, and I'm trying to control all my mindfulness. I'm getting noisier. I'm not getting quieter. I'm losing the sacred. I'm not accessing the sacred. You see how important the definition, knowing the definition of what we're doing, and then bringing the sutta alongside that definition. The full catastrophe. And then, secondarily, the Buddha seems to be saying not to draw any distinction between the spiritual and the secular. Because he's not saying sitting, special, urinating, not special. He puts sitting and urinating side by side. Right? The spirit, what? What? This is confusing to me. I never thought of a holy pee. The holy sea, but not the holy pee. This is very strange. You see, but it starts breaking down all the barriers that we impose. And what happens when we start breaking down self-imposed barriers? We become less compelled by thought, less contracted, less demanding of our spiritual journey, less controlling, which I will get to in just a minute. So that sense of the breakdown between, see, there's implying. This is where you're using what is said. No, where does he say that breakdown? And it doesn't say that. It's implied in what it said. The distinction between the spiritual and the secular, it's gone. There isn't such a thing. There's no division here. How can there be a division? There'd be two. It's either all one or all the other. That's right. Because if it's spiritual, it's all spiritual. It has to be. If there's any spiritual thread, then it all has spiritual thread. Well, now it begins to make sense to me. Now, in the second component of this, is it broadens the definition that it's all times. It's at all times. Not sometimes. It's all times. And the prioritizing of actions and environments is shot, dead, gone. What about Cloud Mountain? What about Spirit Rock? Gone. You have to be ruthless. but then your life works perfectly. When it's gone, your life works perfectly. When it's there, your life doesn't work perfectly. You lean. Well, if I really had it together, I'd do a residential retreat. I don't know. This is not about leaning. This is standing upright. This is finishing. So it has to go. There can be no more leaning. Special environment, special actions, doing my mala beads, reciting my prayers, looking at my puja table, lighting incense. Here's one, Northwesterners, walking in nature. Gone. Sitting here, right this moment. Full Monty. This is it. Doesn't get more special, doesn't get more holy, doesn't get more sacred. See what this thing implies? Just reach it. We can reach it. Don't hold it down. Don't cramp it within our small world's definition. Well, let's see. Okay, doing this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. No. This is an abiding awareness in which all things move. And it's beautiful when you see it like that. It comes to life. It stands up. It's fully energized, fully itself. Now, the next thing it implies, since it includes all things and at all times, there's no way to control the Dharma. Because all control is an exclusion of something else, isn't it? Whenever we try to control something, it's to get us away from something that we don't want or is out of control. But this implies the elimination of all barriers, and therefore the elimination of all control. See, it's a shout. It's you know what? It's like stuff it expander. It's like this sutta has been so stuffed by people's commentary over 2,500 years. It needs to be put into a stuff it expander, and suddenly you get a whole different way of looking at this thing. Not what Buddha Gosa said in 12th century. But what's life right now? Where's this thing come alive right now? And it does. If we're courageous enough to move with it. But again, if the way we practice is very contrived, very threatened, oh, just tell me the right thing to do, please. I don't want to ever make a mistake in my spiritual practice. It won't work. And each of us have a character that we need to be aware of in that way, because it'll stand in our path. And this need to control, the more, just look at it from our definition of the sacred. The more we try to control, the noisier we become, the tighter, the more contracted we become. The tighter we become, the noisier we become. We must realize that being in control is counter to the very definition we set out to discover. This isn't the sacred. I'm not going to control my way to the sacred. It doesn't work. I tried, it doesn't work. Got to give it up. I gave it a good shot. I just wore myself out, huh? We get out of the way. We get out of the way. Our agenda is set aside. See, this is the key. This is the key. We set our agenda aside. This awareness is ever present, but our agenda gets in the way of this ever-present awareness because we're so sure and determined that we know what we're doing. Well, we may know what we're doing, but that's not the spiritual. And so there's a way that we fall back into the spiritual to allow ourselves access. And some of us are so tired. I mean, I was once with a Tibetan monk. I was a Theravadan monk staying at Ajahn Buddhadasa's, and the Tibetan monk was always doing something. And I said, what's your practice? And he said, well, I do 100,000 mantras of this, and I do prostrations, and he gave me a list that would, like it was a full-time job, just getting a list done. And he said, what's yours? I said, I try to relax, I said. I don't think he thought much of me there. Our agenda gets so important to us, doesn't it? Because it's self-driven. It's coming from the organ that complicates rather than simplifies. We should at least realize that we have one organ here that will forever complicate. And if we run things through it, our life is going to be complicated, dramatic, explosive. Well, it works against full awareness. Fully alert, fully aware, he says. Where's the breath? Fully aware. Now the paradigm switches. Because if we're not in control, how do we get it? You see the question? And so the paradigm switches from getting it to surrendering to it. And that's a crucial rub. That's a crucial rub. So the question really is whether you want it or not, because it's as available as it is and has been for 2,500 years. It's no more or less available. And people who have discovered it have had to work their way through this maze of mind-heart to find their way towards simplicity, to rediscover, to refresh it. Refresh button. And so suddenly movement breaks things apart. You see, sitting still has its point, but there's a whole way that movement brings flexibility and pliability in. And so movement, a few paragraphs back in the sutta, so this is walking, sitting, standing, lying down. It already brought movement into it. And now there's something beautiful about movement because, again, it doesn't let us freeze our position in some kind of way that statues seem to proclaim. And so movement, the sense of movement in all of this, flexibility, change, adaptability, doing what's appropriate, rather than what was on my list, my checkoff list to do. That comes from the moment. It's an interactive. It's an arising from the moment, better said, than interaction. But it is interactive. But it's interactive from the whole of the moment, rather than from a calculation about what I'm going to do in the moment. This is alive. It's not stayed or contracted. It's alive. It's vibrant. And he's bringing vibrancy into this. So the movement expands the reach and expands the circumference. This is big. This isn't small. This isn't contained. It starts out, mala beads and chanting and sitting meditating. But this thing gets big. This thing gets as big as the universe. It gets as absolutely compelling as the universe as a whole. That's why I keep bringing in stories about cosmology. We stay so contracted in our little, you look up and you go, "Whoa, a shooting star, my God." Non-doing. The doing of agenda and the non-doing of surrender. You're just surrendering your agenda, that's all you're doing. You're surrendering what you thought you were going to do to what is arising for you to do in this moment. What is appropriate? What's appropriate is appropriate. It's a good word. Now, the other thing that is implied in this sutta is that all the sense organs, this is a sutta that implies all the sense organs. And therefore, it's a full hearing, seeing, smelling, tasting. It's all of that. All the sense perceptions are alive in the sutta. And then there is the willingness to be reborn, to be born anew in the moment, just as the senses are coming in, rather than the conditioned reference that we give to each sense door. So that's one of the implications. Another implication of this is that there's awareness of the senses. Not so much an investment in the content or the thought about what the senses are bringing forth, the consolidation, the way the senses bring forth a determined and purposeful universe. Rather, it's the awareness. What is it that's seeing? What is it that's hearing? What is it that makes it capable of hearing or seeing or smelling or tasting or touching? Sensation. So awareness blankets the sense doors, surrounds the sense doors. And when we're not lost on how the mind consolidates and programs and organizes the sense data into a kind of worldly view and then gives us a depiction of person and need within that view, and then we work out our life through that view. When we just go back to the senses themselves, they're very mysterious. They don't imply a person. Whoa, this is interesting. And I also really appreciate the fact that he threw in urinating and defecating. And why do I appreciate that? Because he takes what was and is a repugnant feature of most of us. We don't like to think of anything below the waist belt. Keep your thoughts up above the waist, right? And then he makes them human. He brings them into the field. And so we can't get out of what's repugnant. We can't somehow avoid, he said, brings it into the daily slop of being a human being. Of the coughing, sneezing, phlegm, blood and sinews, whatever a sinew is. It's in there. I like that. He's not trying to be high-minded, or to keep from offending. There's all of this, the complete human. And believe me, the next stanza, which we'll go into on the next talk, he really gets into the repugnant, and we'll go much more deeply into that. But remembering that this is, what we're doing here is we're in the foundation of the body. So I want to repackage or reorganize this to come through the body. This is the body foundation. The first foundation, we're still on that. For those of you who might have been adrift. So this is all happening within the sense perceptions of the body. It's the ground of our being. You see, it contains the quietude we seek. We've just jabbed it and invested it with so much noise that when we enter it, it doesn't feel very quiet. It feels emotional, or whatever it is that we've invested in it. But it, in itself, when we allow that conditioning to abate, rests in stillness. And it's just, as I'm speaking, just come into your body. Just let it rest in stillness, wherever you are. You don't have to worry about missing the words. You can hear. You don't have to try to hear. Hearing happens. You don't have to let the words form a whole world view, though. And this sense of groundedness, it can compel us to be noisy because we have so much invested in this body. And we have defined it throughout our years. We never allow it to seek the quietude, to have the plumb line rest in zero. We always swing it. You know, it gets too quiet, we swing it. We complain about it. We don't allow, there doesn't have to be any complaints. Pain and aging, pain is an aging. Where's the complaint? You didn't think you're going to age? It gets sick, it gets well. We think wellness is our birthright, but not sickness. Finding that ground. And it's a beautiful instrument. It's the perfect instrument because it's the full Monty. It's there, whatever is going on, it's part of the scene. And when we feel the contraction of our emotional pain, it's the perfect place to investigate that pain from, because it gives us stability, it gives us footing on which we can explore that pain. So we're out walking and suddenly we see somebody who we have some reaction to. The body is showing us that. We're feeling the reaction from the body. And we can explore what that means or what that's about in the moment. And I don't mean intellectually. I mean, you can feel the contraction. You can feel where you're circumstantially bending things, trying to get out of yourself, defend yourself, not wanting to be yourself, not allowing, there's an assumption going on in there. All of these things can be seen and felt from the inside of the body, but not if you're 2 feet from the body. And so the body's a beautiful stabilizing influence and allows us to continue the exploration of the journey wherever it's happening. On retreat, off retreat, interacting, in solitude, eating, defecating, urinating. Let the body call us back to itself. I mean, when the Buddha touched the earth, that was it. There was no argument that Mara could make after that. I'm here. This is it. I don't offer you no excuses for being here. I offer no apologies. This is where it is. I couldn't be any other place, and neither could you. We are only in the place we can be. We owe no apology for being where we are. Period. That's it. Now let's stop doing it. Let's just end that one. And if there's a psychological moaning and wiggling, then let's deal with that. But let's not create any more anxiety for the body, because the body's in its rightful place. Let's deal with the mind that is trying desperately to create its own sense of purpose and intention and meaning and being, which means that it has to be very noisy a lot because the body keeps calling it back to quietude. The mind has to be continually noisy, isn't it? It does a good job, doesn't it? It's amazing. It can't stop for very long, or you'd lose your reference. You'd say, well, this is a fake. I've been going on the... It doesn't want that, so it continues. When you're sitting, when you're lying down, everywhere, it just continues. Continual chatter. Most of us live so immersed in despair and worry because our agendas are self-created, mentally created, that we lose the ground of our being. We're never where we're supposed to be. The sense of being a walking shame is because we're never where we're supposed to be. We're always a little bit out of alignment. Nonsense. How could this thing be out of alignment? Even if it were quadriplegic, how could it be out of alignment? To recover that ground, the earth, as my witness to my shame, earth, to my doubt, earth, bear witness. Should I excuse No, the earth says. The earth says no. Stand straight where you are, which is why we sit straight. Because if we didn't, soon the emotional and psychological folding in on ourselves would cripple our sitting. But we sit straight, shoulders square. Wherever what comes, the earth, is through that straightness. No leaning, straightness. What a beautiful tool. And we have it for such a short period of time. It holds the whole message of the Dharma. And we keep looking outside of it. And here it is. Within this fathom-long body, the Buddha said, the world is created. The shame of being me, the sense of self-judgment. All we need to do is sit. Which one are we going to believe? We don't even feel deserving in our own heart. We don't feel deserving of our own goodness. And believe me that there's basic goodness. But you can't talk your way out of it. I mean, many of you have tried to do that, and you aren't going to talk your way into stability. You've just got to see that this is just, you've been told one continuous lie. Your mind has just been asserting its psychological opinion upon your basic being. It's been arguing with something that's inarguable. I am here, period. To question that conditioning. We find the untruth. We discover the truth by revealing the untruth. God, look what I've been saying to myself. It's just like this little person in there that's just saying this whole story. It has nothing to do with anything. Has nothing at all to do with anything. Have you ever come out of a movie, you've spent 2 hours in a movie, and maybe it was a dramatic movie, you come out and you carry the movie with you? and you like feel the movie and what other people are doing and around you. Have you ever had that experience? Yeah. That's what we're doing, except we carry the movie with us all the time. And we now are, the whole frame of reference is the movie we've been telling ourselves. And so when anyone moves, it's in relationship to the movie we've been telling ourselves. Has the drama, the attitude, the feeling, the ambiance. It's the movie. So that's why in your homework, I ask you to write down 4 or 5 action statements that you will take to deny the untruth, to invalidate the untruths that lead most of our lives. Now, if you don't do that, if you think it'll just kind of trickle down somehow through my words and at some point you'll just be stepping out of this, think again. This does take focus and intention on you, by you. You have to set this thing in motion. And that's where most of us fear. Because we really believe the untruth. We believe it. And so when we set an action to counter that untruth, the action is what falters. The untruth sustains itself. So the first thing we have to do is to look at that untruth and to see that it's untrue. Very easy to do. Anything you're telling yourself is untrue. That's the rule of thumb. You can see it. Don't take my words. See it for yourself. It's a perspective. It's an attitude. It's a story. It's not the truth. And when you begin to see that, then you get locked. We get locked in the inaction. The story still has its implication. We've seen the untruth, but we can't seem to move it in a way that moves it in any alignment to true. And so we stay acting untruth even though we know that it's untrue. And that just reaffirms, and at some point it comes back in, solidifies back out as untruth, and we start believing it again. Because the actions will carry the assumptions. So this takes some courage here. So we're walking down the street, feeling the shame of our life. Woke up that way, probably have spent decades that way, and we're walking down and somebody looks at us and asks us a question and we're feeling this shame. Now, in my action statements, I said when this shame is occurring, I challenge it, I look at it, I ask whether this shame is a story or whether it is the moment that's arising. Is it true in this moment? And then I bring my action statements to bear upon that. I look them in the eye. I tell them the best way to get to X or Y. Even though inside they're saying, who are you to give directions to? I don't know the situations, people, that we're in, but you know the feeling I'm trying to intone here. That's what we're going at. The difficult ones. The ones that we have lived with our entire life. Those. I'm not going to live with them anymore. And slowly, as we take that firm resolve, remember it's a parami, resolve, the conviction of heart. It's not a force of will, it's a conviction of heart. We start trying to figure out how to move this thing, and there's an awkwardness, but it starts moving. It starts, the fluidity of it starts going in a wise direction. And suddenly the shame we thought was so prevalent, and was so prevalent for so long, it's like barely there. It's like it's a whisper or something in the back. It doesn't even hold us anymore. It's like a beeper of a stove, you know. You're in another part of the heart, and did I leave something on the burn? No, I didn't. There's nothing on the burn. Okay, so this is our work. This is where the sutta has taken us. This is the implication of the sutta. And we thought it was like brushing my teeth, scratching my hair, urinating, defecating. Well, I thought that's what it was about. It wasn't about that. It wasn't only about that. If your strict interpretation of the Constitution is about just what the Constitution says. But come on, this is a new time. Bring some aliveness in this thing. Let's expand it out. Let's walk out of this thing. Full embodiment, full health, full sanity, full freedom. Thank you. Let us sit for a minute or two.
मैं हिंदी अनुवाद करने का प्रयास करता हूँ, थोड़ा संक्षेप में कर पाना बड़ा दिक्कत है, कोशिश करता हूँ। आपने शुरू किया इस बात को कि जो हम जिस तरह से वो सतिपट्ठान पढ़ रहे हैं, हम उसका डायरेक्ट लिटरल ट्रांसलेशन जो है वो उस पर महत्व उतना नहीं दे रहे, लेकिन उसके अंदर कौन से गहरे अर्थ छुपे हुए हैं, उसके क्या इम्प्लिकेशंस हैं, उनकी ओर ज़्यादा ध्यान दे रहे हैं। पहली बात तो यही। दूसरी उन्होंने कही कि हमको इस बात को ही सोचना चाहिए कि जब हम कहते हैं कि हम आध्यात्मिक हैं, ध्यान की जो हमारी करने की इच्छा रहती है वो किस तरफ जा रही है, उसका उद्देश्य क्या है। तो कहते हैं कि सारी जो आध्यात्मिक काम होते हैं उस सब का उद्देश्य पवित्रता की ओर ले जाना है, सेक्रेड की ओर ले जाना समझ लीजिए। और लेकिन कई लोग स्पिरिचुअल को कुछ और ही समझते हैं, जैसे पिछले जन्मों के बारे में जानना और साइकिक पावर्स वगैरह। कहते हैं वो हमारा जो समझ के हिसाब से, जैसे वो समझ कहते हैं कि हम सब इसलिए कर रहे हैं, और सेक्रेड और जो पवित्र है वो क्या है, जो कि हमारे विचारों से नहीं बना है, जो स्वयंभू है, जो अपने आप है। क्योंकि कोई चीज़ हमारे विचारों से बनी है तो उसमें शोर शराबा रहता है, विचारों का शोर शराबा रहता है, और हमारी मन की आदत है कि जो कॉम्प्लिकेटेड चीज़ें होती हैं वो हमको अच्छी लगती हैं। इसलिए जो पवित्र चीज़ है, जो सेक्रेड है, वो नॉइज़ नहीं हो सकता, वो स्टिलनेस ही होगी, शांति होगी, निस्तब्धता ही होगी, प्रशांति होगी, और वो सिंपल होगी। उसमें कॉम्प्लिकेशन नहीं हो सकती कि ऐसा भी कर रहे हो, ये भी करो, वो भी करो, ये भी करो, ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। मन जो है हमारा ऐसा है बुद्ध मनुष्यों का कि वो कॉम्प्लिकेशन पसंद करता है, एक के बाद एक, एक के बाद एक। जबकि जब हम हृदय की ओर देखते हैं, अंतरात्मा की ओर देखते हैं, तो हम शांत रहना चाहते हैं, शांति बहुत पसंद आती है। तो आपका विचार है कि ये जो सुत्त है हमारा, उसकी जो ओवरऑल डायरेक्शन है वो हमको नॉइज़ से स्टिलनेस की ओर ले जाती है, जो बहुत ज़्यादा एक्टिविटी और डूइंग से हट के शांति की ओर, प्रशांति की ओर ले जाना चाहती है। फिर उन्होंने जो पढ़ा वो इन संपजान पब्बम और उसका ट्रांसलेशन किया, उसमें मेरे ख्याल से वो ट्रांसलेशन की प्रॉब्लम थी। उन्होंने संपजानकारी का फुली अलर्ट, पता नहीं किसने ट्रांसलेशन किया है वो, और इस कारण से वो अलर्ट के ऊपर काफ़ी उन्होंने स्ट्रांगली कहा कि फुली अलर्ट का क्या मतलब है। लेकिन वस्तुतः ये मतलब, इस परिस्थिति भी ऐसी हो गई है कि अगर हम देखें, जब हम कहते हैं संपजानकारी होती कि खाते पीते बैठते उठते, तो हमें लगता है कि हमें कोई ख़ास जानकारी करनी है। ख़ास तौर पे जैसे हम ट्रेन हो रहे हैं, जब हम चल रहे हैं तो हमको चलते फिरते हर समय सारे शरीर में क्या हो रहा है, संवेदना क्या हो रही है, मालूम होनी चाहिए। वो करें, अगर वो हो उसका मतलब ये है, फिर तो एक मुसीबत हो गई हमारे लिए। ये बिल्कुल इसका मतलब नहीं हो सकता कि हम जो हम काम कर रहे हैं वो तो करें, उसके सिवा आप ये भी करें कि हमारे सारे शरीर में अंदर कहाँ क्या हो रहा है उसकी जानकारी करें। तो उनके विचार से वो उसका तात्पर्य बिल्कुल नहीं है। उसका तात्पर्य यह है
कि हम जो एक्टिविटी कर रहे हैं उसी में पूरी तरह अबाइड करें, अवेयरनेस रहे हमें उसकी चारों तरफ से, पूरी तरह से कंप्लीट फुल अवेयरनेस रहे। फुल अवेयरनेस का मतलब जो भी हो रहा है उसके बारे में, और अगर हमारे मन में कुछ हो रहा है उसके बारे में, शरीर में कोई ख़ास बात हो रही है उसके बारे में। तो ये एक महत्वपूर्ण उनका दृष्टिकोण है जिस पे हम विचार कर सकते हैं। दूसरी बात उन्होंने जो महत्वपूर्ण कही कि जो हम देखते हैं इसमें जो एक्टिविटीज़ हैं, हर एक्टिविटी उन्होंने इंक्लूड कर ली है। इतना ऐसी एक्टिविटीज़ भी जिनके बारे में सामान्यतः हम लोग चर्चा भी नहीं करते, टॉयलेट जाना, डेफिकेट करना, उस सब बातों के बारे में भी। तो उसका तात्पर्य यही है कि जितना भी हम कुछ कर रहे हैं जीवन में, जो कुछ भी हम कर रहे हैं, उस सब हर परिस्थिति में वी शुड बी, हम अवेयरनेस से बने रहें। तो वही जो अवेयरनेस और माइंडफुलनेस की बात जो उन्होंने एक पिछले टॉक में की थी, उसके संदर्भ में ये बात देखनी चाहिए। तो उन्होंने कहा कि इसमें इन्होंने इसलिए कोई भी एक्टिविटी नहीं छोड़ी, इसका मतलब हमको हर परिस्थिति में, और ऐसी सारी सिचुएशंस हैं तो किसी चीज़ को प्रेफरेंस देना कि भाई जो सिटिंग मेडिटेशन है वो अच्छी है और ये अच्छी नहीं है, कि हमको रिट्रीट में जाके जो हम करेंगे वो ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है, जो हम घर पे कर रहे हैं वो इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है। कहते ये हमारे जो भ्रम है ये हमारे त्याग देने चाहिए, क्योंकि भगवान ने ये नहीं कहा है, यहाँ पे सूत्र में कहीं पे ये नहीं लिखा हुआ कि बैठ के ध्यान करना इम्पॉर्टेंट है और संप्रजान इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है, या जैसे एरिया पथ पबम है वो इम्पॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ऐसा कहीं नहीं है। और एक और उन्होंने जो महत्वपूर्ण उनका दृष्टिकोण है कि इस सारे सूत्र का उद्देश्य है कि हम रिलैक्स तरीके से काम करें, ना कि कंट्रोल करें सब चीज़ों को, क्योंकि जितना जितना हम कंट्रोल करते हैं मन उतना उतना टाइट हो जाता है, उतना उतना उसमें विचारों का उथल पुथल चलता रहता है, और जिसमें मन में जितना नॉइज़ होगा वो उनके परिप्रेक्ष्य में जैसे वो देखते हैं, नॉइज़ और स्टिलनेस में बड़ा फ़र्क है। हमको नॉइज़ की तरफ नहीं जाना है, स्टिलनेस की तरफ जाना है। और वो नॉइज़ इसीलिए होता है कि हम उसमें अपना एजेंडा साथ रखते हैं, हम जो हमारी समझ रखी है, जो पढ़ा लिखा हुआ है, ऐसे ऐसे करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है, या इंस्ट्रक्शंस हैं वो ऐसे ऐसे करनी है, ऐसे ऐसे करनी है सारा, जबकि जो मार्ग है भगवान का उसमें है कि हम अपने उस रास्ते से हट जाएं, जो हो रहा है उसको देखें। तो ये उद्देश्य कि हमको कुछ प्राप्त करना है, उसकी जगह हमको उस सत्य के प्रति समर्पण करना है, ये भाव होना चाहिए। नहीं भी कहा कि ऐसा नहीं कि मैं कह रहा हूँ कि बैठ के ध्यान करने का रोल नहीं है, बट उसका रोल है, बट बहुत अधिक रोल एक्टिविटी का, मूवमेंट का, उसका ज़्यादा रोल है, क्योंकि वो हम ज़्यादा करते हैं सामान्य जीवन में। ख़ासतौर पर गृहस्थों के लिए उस बात को बहुत महत्व देना चाहिए, और हमको ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि ये एक्टिविटी तो हल्की है, अब जब परेशानी ज़्यादा हो गई तो चलो अब रिट्रीट में जाएंगे तब जाके सुधरेगा। ऐसा विचार करना भगवान की शिक्षा के अनुरूप नहीं है। और हमको ये भी सिखाता है कि अवेयरनेस हर एक्टिविटी में, हर परिस्थिति में होनी चाहिए। उसका मतलब है कि हम पहले प्री प्लान करके, प्री कैलकुलेट करके ये करेंगे, अब ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करेंगे, ऐसा होगा तो ऐसा करेंगे, वो उचित नहीं है, क्योंकि उससे मन में कंटिन्यूसली विचार चलते रहते हैं, नॉइज़ चलता रहता है, जो हमको शांति की ओर, जो हमको पवित्रता की ओर नहीं ले जाएगा, जो हमको प्योर अवेयरनेस की ओर नहीं ले जाएगा। शांति से मतलब है प्योर अवेयरनेस की ओर नहीं ले जाएगा। हमको इतनी कैपेबिलिटी बनानी होगी, कोई इसका चारा नहीं है, कि प्रतिक्षण हम इतने सजग हैं कि जो अप्रोप्रिएट हैं वो कर पाएँ। तो ये दो उन्होंने बताया। एक बात है कि डूइंग ऑफ एजेंडा, जो मेरा एजेंडा है वो करना। दूसरा नॉन डूइंग ऑफ सरेंडर, की जो परिस्थिति आएगी, जैसा उसमें उठेगा, जैसा ठीक लगेगा वैसा करेंगे। तो हर परिस्थिति के प्रति समर्पण का भाव है, उसको एक्सेप्टेंस जिसे कहते हैं, नॉन रिएक्टिव एक्सेप्टेंस, कंप्लीट एक्सेप्टेंस, रेडिकल एक्सेप्टेंस, जैसे अजान सुमेध हो जाना, हम लोग कहते हैं रेडिकल एक्सेप्टेंस ऑफ द सिचुएशन। तो वो फिर उसमें जो बात आती है खाने पीने की, उसको लेके वो कहते हैं कि इसमें सिर्फ एक्टिविटी नहीं, सारे परसेप्शंस भी जो हैं, देखना, सुनना, सूंघना, खाना पीना, सब चीज़ें इसमें आती हैं। टेस्ट की बात, तो अवेयरनेस का क्या मतलब हुआ वहाँ पे? उस अवेयरनेस ऑफ सेंसेस, अवेयरनेस ऑफ फूड। उसका मतलब ये है कि हम जब देख रहे हैं तो ये भी समझने की कोशिश करें कि देख कौन रहा है, मैं देख रहा हूँ कि कोई और देख रहा है। देखने की क्षमता देख रही है, जो टेस्ट कर रहे हैं खाते हुए तो कौन टेस्ट कर रहा है। तो उस डायरेक्शन में भी वो हमारा ध्यान आकर्षित करना चाहते हैं। फिर उन्होंने कहा कि मुझे बहुत इस बात पे अच्छा लगा कि भगवान ने इसमें ऐसी ऐसी एक्टिविटीज़ डाल दी जिनके बारे में हम सोचना भी नहीं चाहते। ऐसे ऐसी चीज़ें कि वो ध्यान दिलाना चाहते हैं, यूरिनेटिंग, टॉयलेट जाना, शरीर के अंदर जब 32 पार्ट दिखाते हैं तो खून है, फिल्म है, थूक है, जिन चीज़ों के बारे में हम भागते रहते हैं, कहते हैं उन्हीं पे ध्यान करना है। और फिर शरीर का महत्व बताते हुए वो कहते हैं कि जो भी हमारे अनुभव हैं, जो हमारे इमोशनल प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, वो सब शरीर के ऊपर ही रिफ्लेक्ट होती हैं। और उसके शरीर एक स्थिर रहता है, हिलता नहीं है, तो उसकी हिलन डुलन ना होने के कारण उससे मन की हिलन डुलन रोकी जा सकती है। तो इसलिए मन की परेशानियों को शरीर के माध्यम से रोक पाना बड़ा अच्छा आसान है। कोई बार हम कंप्लेंट करते हैं कि शरीर का बूढ़ा हो जाता है, दर्द हो रही है, बीमार हो रहा है, तो कहते हैं कि ये हमारा कोई बर्थ राइट नहीं है कि हम हमेशा ठीक रहेंगे और बूढ़े नहीं होंगे। इस प्रकृति का नियम है कि होगा ही रहेगा। तो इस पे बात को लेके शरीर को बुरा भला कहने का कोई मतलब नहीं है। फिर उन्होंने भगवान के जो धरती को छूने की जो भूमि स्पर्श मुद्रा, उसके ऊपर कहा कि जब महाराज ने उनको चैलेंज किया कि तुम यहाँ कैसे बैठे हो, तुम क्या समझते हो अपने आप को, तो उन्होंने धरती को छू के बताया कि ये मेरी साक्षी है। तो उसको उन्होंने और अलग ब्रॉड स्पेक्ट्रम से देखने की कोशिश की, कहा कि हम जहाँ भी हैं, जिस परिस्थिति में हैं, वो ठीक है। और हमको ये महसूस करना कि जो खासतौर पर जो पश्चिम में एक परेशानी रहती है, एक सेल्फ डिस्पैरेजमेंट की, अपने आप को हीन भावना की, बहुत ज़्यादा सेंस ऑफ शेम और सेल्फ जजमेंट, वो उस संदर्भ में बता रहे थे। तो वो सारी बातें उस परिप्रेक्ष्य में शायद ज़्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है कि जहाँ हम हैं वहीं हैं। वो कहते हैं हम इसीलिए जब ध्यान करते हैं तो सीधा बैठते हैं, ताकि हम झुक के नहीं बैठते। उसका एक ये भी सिंबॉलिक मीनिंग है कि हम जहाँ हैं वो ठीक है, उसमें झुकने की ज़रूरत, अपने आप को बुरा समझने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, कोई इन्फीरियरिटी साथ रहने की ज़रूरत नहीं है। उन्होंने एक फ़िल्म का, मूवी थिएटर का एग्जाम्पल देते हुए बताया, जैसे हम कोई फिल्म में जाते हैं और फिल्म के अंदर कोई बहुत सीन देखते हैं और फिर उसको साथ लेके चलने लगते हैं काफ़ी देर तक, वही हाल हमारे जीवन का भी है। जीवन की जो फिल्म चल रही है, हम उसको हमेशा पकड़ के रखते हैं और देखते नहीं हैं उसको निरपेक्ष भाव से नहीं देखते, उसके साथ चिपक जाते हैं तादात्म्य करके, और फिर जो भी घटनाएं घटनी है उसको अपने ऊपर लेके, एक वही ऐसी स्थिति है जैसे कोई सिनेमा देखने गया और उस फिल्म में जो देखा उसने उसको पकड़ के सारा जीवन उसी के साथ दौड़े जा रहा है। तो उन्होंने फिर वो, क्योंकि वो हर टॉक के बाद वहाँ पे जो लोग आते हैं उनको होमवर्क देते हैं, तो उन्होंने कहा इस बार होमवर्क ये है कि जो भी अपने आपके जीवन में ऐसी बातें हैं जो अनट्रुथ हैं, आप उनको कैसे हटाएंगे उस बिलीफ को, और क्या एक्शन करेंगे, ये बारे में सोचिएगा आप। क्योंकि अनट्रुथ को जानना आसान है, लेकिन उसके लिए एक्शन करना बहुत मुश्किल होता है, हम लोग उसको सोचते नहीं। तो जैसे कोई हमारे मन में भाव है कि मैंने कुछ ऐसा किया, मैंने वैसा किया जो ठीक नहीं था, उसको एनालाइज करिए क्या वो सत्य है। वो कहते हैं जो भी आप बात सोच रहे हैं, एक्चुअली कोई भी बात सत्य नहीं होती, क्योंकि भगवान की भी एक सूत्र में वो कहते हैं अपने बारे में जो भी आपका परसेप्शन है वो अन्यथा ही होता है, वो ठीक नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि परसेप्शन सारे मिराज की तरह हैं, वो लिमिटेड इन्फॉर्मेशन पे बेस्ड होते हैं। तो कहते हैं कि आप आत्मनिरीक्षण करिए, विवेचन करिए, इन्वेस्टिगेट करिए, और जहाँ जहाँ आपको अनट्रुथ लगता है उसको हटा दीजिए, उसको हटाने के लिए कोशिश करना शुरू करिए, एक फर्म रिजॉल्व करिए, अधिष्ठान करिए। और उन्होंने ये भी कहा कि अधिष्ठान जो एक पारमी है मुक्ति के रास्ते में, तो जो भी हमारे ऑकवर्ड अजीब अपने बारे में विचार हैं उनको इन्वेस्टिगेट करके उनको हटाने का जो प्रयास है, उसके लिए जो एक्शन करना चाहिए वो करना शुरू करिए। अंत में फिर उन्होंने यही कहा कि जो भी मैं कह रहा हूँ वो लिटरल एक्सप्लेनेशन नहीं है, वो फिगरेटिव, उसका जो भावार्थ बता रहा हूँ, उसका जो उनकी समझ पे जो उसके निहित मैसेज है, संदेश है उस सूत्र का, वो बता रहे हैं। हालांकि जो लिटरल है वो भी पढ़ रहे हैं और लिटरल के साथ भी जितना उसके लिए उसको जस्टिस करनी चाहिए वो भी कर रहे हैं। अब हम ब्रह्म विहार की साधना करें। ब्रह्म विहार की साधना एक तरह की गाइडेड मेडिटेशन होती है। क्योंकि समय कम है तो हम उसको पूरा उस विवरण में नहीं करते, शायद किसी दिन पूरा 1 घंटा लगा के उसको भी करना चाहिए। ब्रह्म विहार, मैत्री ब्रह्म विहार, पहले मैत्री का जो शुद्ध स्वरूप है अनंत, असीमित, अपरिमित है, लेकिन उस स्थिति तक मन को लाने के लिए जो कुशल उपाय के रूप में पहले अपने प्रति, फिर अपने प्रियजनों के प्रति, फिर रक्षा करने वाले देवों के प्रति ऐसा करते हैं। ये परंपरा ने कुशल उपाय बनाए हैं। पहले अपने प्रति चैंटिंग करते करते उसका विजुअलाइजेशन भी करते हैं। अहं अवेरोमि अव्यापज्योमि अनिगोमि सुखी अत्तानं परिहरामि। अब अपने प्रियजनों, आचार्यों, मित्रों, धर्म भाइयों, धर्म बहनों के लिए उनको विचार करके मन में थोड़ी देर, फिर हम चैंटिंग करेंगे। मम माता पितु आचर्या च ज्ञातिमित्ता च सब्रह्मचारिणो च अवेराहोन्तु अव्यापञ्जाहोन्तु अनिगाहोन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। अब हम सबकी रक्षा करने वाले चारों दिशाओं के लोकपाल देवों के प्रति आरक्षा देवता, भूमट्ठा देवता, रुक्षट्ठा देवता, आकाशट्ठा देवता अवेराहोन्तु अव्यापज्जाहोन्तु अनिगाहोन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। और अब मैत्री का शुद्ध स्वरूप अनंत, अपरिमित, असीमित मैत्री सभी प्राणियों के प्रति, चाहे किसी भी रूप में हो, किसी भी लोक में हो, किसी भी परिस्थिति में हो।
सम्बे सत्ता सम्बे पाना सम्बे भूता सम्बे पुंगला सम्बे अत्ता भाव पर्यापन्ना सम्बा इत्यो सम्बे पुरिसा सम्बे अरिया सम्बे अनरिया सम्बे देवा सम्बे मनुष्या सम्बे विनिपातिका अवेरा होन्तु अव्यापज्जा होन्तु अनीगा होन्तु सुखी अत्तानं परिहरन्तु। अब करुणा ब्रह्म विहार सभी जानकार और न जानने वाले अनजान लोगों के प्रति जो इस समय महामारी से पीड़ित हैं, लाखों लोग दुखी बीमार, करोड़ों लोग घरों में बंद, लाखों लोग ऐसे जिनके प्रियजनों का बिछोह हो रहा है, उन सब का मन में ध्यान करके करुणा जागती है। तो उनके प्रति शुभकामना कि वो रोग से मुक्त हों, कष्ट से मुक्त हों। अपनी शुभकामना को बल देने के लिए अपनी श्रद्धा के आधार पे, श्रद्धा के बल पे हम सभी बुद्धों की नमन करते हुए, उनकी सिद्धियों को याद करते हुए ऐसी शुभेच्छा करते हैं कि सभी निरोग हों, स्वस्थ हों, भय मुक्त हों। तो इसीलिए वो हटा नाटी सुत्ता की जो थोड़ी वर्सेस हैं उनको हम चैंट करेंगे। वचसा मनसा चैव वन्दामे ते तथागते शयने आसने थाने गमने चापि सर्वदा सदा सुखेन रक्षन्तु बुद्धा सन्ति करातुवं ते हि त्वं रक्षितो सन्तो मुक्तो सर्वभयैः च सर्वरोगा विनिमुक्तो सर्वसन्तापवर्जितो सर्ववैरमतिकन्तो निवृत्तो च त्वं भव तेषां सच्चेन शीलेन कान्ति मेत्ताबलेन च तेऽपि त्वय्यनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च पुरस्मिन् दिशा भागे सन्ति भूता महीधिका तेऽपि त्वय्यनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च दक्षिणस्मिन् दिशा भागे सन्ति देवा महीधिका तेऽपि त्वय्यनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च पश्चिमस्मिन् दिशा भागे सन्ति नागा महीधिका तेऽपि त्वय्यनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च उत्तरस्मिन् दिशा भागे सन्ति यक्षा महीधिका तेऽपि त्वय्यनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च
पुरत्तिमयेन दधिरट्ठो दक्षिणेन विरुल्लको पश्चिमेन विरूपको कुबेरोत्तरं दिशं चत्तारो ते महाराजा लोकपालाय यशस्विनो तेऽपि तुमे अनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च आकाशट्ठा च भूमट्ठा देवानागा महीधिका पुण्यमे अनुरक्षन्तु आरोग्येन सुखेन च संवीतियो विभजन्तु शोको रोगो विनश्यतु माते भवतु अन्तरायो सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव सुखी दीर्घायुको भव। अब कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन सबके प्रति। हजारों लोग हमारे अपने देश में, लाखों लोग विश्व में जो निस्वार्थ भाव से रोगियों की सेवा में लगे हैं, अपनी सुरक्षा को खतरे में डालकर भी, उन सबके प्रति हृदय से कृतज्ञता, आभार, धन्यवाद। ये सभी सुरक्षित रहें, स्वस्थ रहें, प्रसन्न रहें, कोई बाधा ना आए उनके काम में, ऐसी शुभेच्छा। आए हम सब अपने पुण्य उनके साथ साझा करें ताकि उनका काम सहज हो पाए। पुण्यस्य इदानि याना अन्यानि कतानि मे ते संच भागिनो हन्तु सत्तानंत अपमानका। अब मुदिता ब्रह्म विहार बहुत आवश्यक आजकल की परिस्थिति में, जब चारों तरफ नेगेटिविटी है। जो भी हमारे ध्यान में प्रसन्न होने के कारण हो सकते हैं, उनको हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। मैंने आज एक पुराना प्रवचन दोबारा सुना इसी उद्देश्य से, जो पिछले वर्ष अभयगिरी मोनेस्ट्री में एक महायाना मॉन्क ने दिया था। बहुत ही प्रेरणादायक और मन को प्रसन्न करने वाला, किस तरह महायाना और थाई फॉरेस्ट ट्रेडिशन में आपस में सामंजस्य बैठ पाया। तो इसी तरह से हम भी कभी भी मन में प्रसन्नता जगाने के लिए कोई भी जो शुद्ध आलम्बन हो, जो होलसम आलम्बन हो, कुशल आलम्बन हो, उसको इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं। और अगर सचमुच में कुछ लोगों को जानते हैं जो प्रसन्न हैं, उनको याद कर सकते हैं, या मन में कल्पना के आधार पे कितने लोग बीमारी से उभर रहे हैं, सुख में होंगे, उनके सुख में हम भी शामिल होते हैं और शुभेच्छा करते हैं कि उनका सुख बना रहे, कोई व्यवधान फिर से ना खड़ा हो। कमेंट्रीज में कहा जाता है कि कोई अच्छा बुद्ध रूप देख के आपको प्रसन्नता जागती है, तो उसी को चित्रण अपने मन में करके देख के प्रसन्न हो सकते हैं। शुभकामना साथ में करते हैं कि सबकी प्रसन्नता बनी रहे, कोई व्यवधान ना आए। ये हमारी मेत्ता चांट का पार्ट है।
यथा लब्धा संपत्तितो मा विगच्छन्तु। और फिर अब सर्वोत्तम ब्रह्म विहार, उपेक्षा ब्रह्म विहार। हर परिस्थिति में समता बनी रहे, हर अभ्यास में समता बनी रहे। उसके लिए आवश्यक कि दुख की परिस्थिति में हम दुख के कारण जो भासमान सत्य होता है, जो प्रकृति, मनुष्य पर सिचुएशन, उसके प्रति द्वेष न जगाएं। तो उसके लिए भगवान का सुझाव है लोकीय सम्मादिट्ठी के रूप में कर्म सिद्धांत को याद करें। कम्मस्य का कम्मदायादा कम्म योनि कम्म बंधु कम्म पटिसरण यम कम्मं करिष्यन्ति कल्याणं वा पापकं वा तस्य दायादा भविष्यन्ति। और सचमुच में गहराई से समता बनाने के लिए और ये सच्चान अवेच पश्यति भगवान की वाणी याद दिलाती है हमको। हम ऐसी शुभकामना करें, ऐसी शुभेच्छा करें कि सचमुच में सभी लोग सुखी हों, उनकी दृष्टि सम्यक हो, ताकि कोई अकुशल काम ना हो और कोई शोक का कारण न बने, दुख का कारण न बने। सबे सत्ता सुखी होन्तु, सबे होन्तु चखेमिनो, सबे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा किञ्चित् पापमागमा, मा किञ्चित् शोकमागमा, मा किञ्चित् दुःखमागमा। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वबुद्धानुभावेन सदा सोत्ति भवन्तु मे। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वधर्मानुभावेन सदा सोत्ति भवन्तु ते। भवतु सर्वमङ्गलं, रक्षन्तु सर्वदेवता, सर्वसङ्घानुभावेन सदा सोत्ति भवन्तु ते। अरहं सम्मा सम्बुद्धो भगवा बुद्धं भगवन्तं अभिवादेमि। साक्षातो भगवता धम्मो धम्मं नमस्सामि। सुपटिपन्नो भगवतो सावक संघो संघं नमामि।